everyone. Welcome to the Anuta Networks session today. My name is Kiran Sirupa. The topic today is low-code automation and closed-loop automation for hybrid multi-cloud networks. Here's the quick agenda for this 10-minute presentation. We'll discuss some of the challenges for network automation and how Anuta ATOM is solving these problems. We will discuss some features of Anuta ATOM. We also have a demo booth, so please drop in and you can see the complete product demo. We will discuss some of our customer deployments as well. So there are a lot of demands on the network. Digital transformation requires the network operations teams to be as agile as a 100 meters sprint runner. But networking is paralyzed. There are many problems if you see. It starts all the way from manual configurations, multi-vendor networks, and scale is a big problem. And a lot of manual processes for troubleshooting, provisioning, assurance, and remediation. And that means the network cannot keep up with the business demands. And there are many tools. There are some tools for documentation, some tools for automation, some for provisioning, some for analytics. So you have islands of information when it comes to networking. Anuta ATOM solves these problems. It's a comprehensive network automation solution. It collects the network configuration from brownfield as well as greenfield deployments. It provides zero-touch provisioning, and it introduces the concept of self-service. So from a simple GUI, you can order various firewall policies, load balancer policies, route policies, and it automates using a low-code automation. I will go in a detail of some of these features. And it also collects analytics from multi-vendor infrastructure. And finally, it builds a baseline of your infrastructure so it can introduce automatic remediation and compliance as well. So the first feature is low-code automation. It's a graphical designer. So you can take any of your method of procedures and deploy it as a graphical workflow. It integrates with your existing ticketing systems, your IPAM. It integrates with multi-vendor, like 45 different vendors. It executes Ansible playbooks, any Python scripts that you already have. And it's bidirectional, so when something happens on the network, it can actually trigger the workflow as well. We also enforce compliance of the infrastructure, so you can define various levels of compliance policies. You can say, do not enable SNMP v2 anywhere on my network, or don't enable SQL port on any firewall in my network. So like that, you can create many policies in our system. We'll go validate it and tell you which devices have violated that compliance rules, and we can automatically remediate them as well. We collect analytics, whether it's streaming telemetry, SNMP, or the syslog data. We consolidate into a time series database, and then we give you Grafana as part of our product, so you can build all kinds of custom dashboards, reports, and threshold-based alerts from your network data. And finally, we introduce a concept called closed-loop automation, wherein we look at the baseline of your infrastructure. Let's say the BGP neighbors are flapping. If it's flapping once in a day, then you open a ticket. But if it's flapping excessively, you can actually execute an Ansible playbook or a workflow to shut down that neighbor. So we introduce this sort of feedback loops on your infrastructure. So here's a quick list of all the vendors we supported. We have the most comprehensive vendor coverage. You will see all the leading vendors. We have validated the switches, routers, firewalls, load balancers, web proxies, VPN, etc. And we can add support for new vendors rather quickly as well. So the net effect of all these features is that it eliminates the friction in your network operations. It eliminates the manual processes. It removes the software upgrade processes. It automates the multi-vendor provisioning. And finally, you have one place where you have full visibility into your infrastructure, and you will have single source of truth. In the next few slides, I'll share some of our customer deployments, how various industry verticals have used this functionality to introduce digital transformation in their companies. The first one is NuStar. They are a cloud-based DDoS mitigation service provider. So on demand, they have to create bandwidth for the DDoS victim. So when a particular site is under attack, they have to provision some bandwidth in their cloud network. So they have to provision an Arista switch, a Juniper router, a Citrix NetScaler, and Arbor Peakflow. So they are using Anuta ATOM to provision this end-to-end service. And they're collecting statistics from these devices using SNMP and streaming telemetry, so they can match the bandwidth that they promise to their DDoS victims, for example. And they have distributed data centers, like 26 global data centers that they are using to automate with Anuta ATOM. The second one is a medical industry company. They make devices. They're a national instrumentation enterprise company. And they are going towards hybrid multi-cloud. So they have some workloads on-prem and some in the AWS cloud. And how do they ensure consistent policy across this hybrid multi-cloud? And how can they introduce compliance, configuration consistency, and they are using Atom to enforce that. And they are using the low-code automation, the workflow designer, so they can define various method of procedures, and they have deployed into hundreds of devices. The next case study is a furniture manufacturer company. They're a retail customer, so they have hundreds of branch offices. And how do they ensure configuration consistency, zero-touch provisioning of these remote branch offices? And then they're constantly monitoring the bandwidth in all of these remote branch offices, so they can take some corrective actions. Like, let's say a particular branch office has a very high CPU utilization, then they can report it, and they can open a ticket and automatically, and they can also spin up additional capacity, like using virtual routers as well. The final case study is a financial enterprise. They are more of a risk management enterprise. So the use case here is about service chaining. They're combining a Cisco router, a Juniper router, and then a load balancer. And they're doing an end-to-end application delivery using our Atom software. Again, so they are automating the software upgrade processes, compliance checks, and analytics as well. So as you can see, different industry verticals have deployed different modules of Anuta Atom. Our product and packaging as well as pricing is fairly modular. So you can deploy just for provisioning or just for monitoring or for the whole complete closed loop automation as well. So the summary is that you are able to consolidate many of the network operation tasks into one single source of truth. And it gives you single pane visibility, whether it's your data center, campus, branch, or the MPLS network across 45 different vendors. So we do have a booth, so please drop by for the demo. The net effect is that, with Anuta Atom support, enterprises can actually match up to the expectations of the business in terms of digital transformation. There are some additional links. Please drop by our booth as well. I can walk you through all these features and some additional case studies. Thank you.